As Bitcoin Truth Seekers, it is Friday, May 28th, 2021. It's 11:38 a.m. here in the Arizona desert, and the Bitcoin market is flaccid and sucks ass today. So, with that said, the XY dollar strength index ever since 2020 has been just dumping like crazy and continues in 2021, although we are just barely above the heartbeat today. Interesting. So maybe a turnaround for Ancient Evil. With that also said, looking at Coin 360, simply the last hour, we're beginning to see a pickup right now, which is somewhat positive. Nice to see. It's been red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Looking at the Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, we got 7.5 billion, 4.5 billion of that on Binance, and 1.4 billion of that on Coinbase. No one else showed up for work today and broke a billion. Let's refresh Blockchain Whispers. Look at Bitcoin shorts on Binance, where all that glorious volume is. 60% long, 39% short. Looking at Ethereum, 62% long, 37% short. So where the volume is, there still is a long sentiment. I wanted to mention this. It just came out here on Zero Hedge. Much less than meets the eye. Biden officially unveils budget with retroactive capital gains tax hike. I'm not really interested in the retarded nonsense of left-right politics, so save your bullshit. As far as me not liking Biden, I didn't like Trump either, okay? The last president I liked was George Washington, and only kind of, all right? So enough. On the retroactive capital gains tax hike, on the tax front, the biggest surprise in Biden's proposal is that he assumes an increase in the capital gains rate would be retroactive to April 2021. This would prevent wealthy people from quickly selling off their assets before the end of year. Anyway, this may or may not happen. I would not count on it either way. I would tend to think it probably will, given the current political sentiment. But with that said, this is shitty at best and will not help the market whatsoever. So, looking at the Dow Jones, actually looking at the SPX on top, Russell 2000 in the middle, Dow Jones at the bottom. In general, their days are kind of flat, but they are slowly working on or have achieved a 200 moving average cross in the daily, so market is still perking up. We'll see how this affects. I'm very curious to see how things open on Monday. Looking at gold versus silver, both are having a green day in the market. Both are above the 200 moving average. It's wonderful in the daily charts. 21 EMA is crossing positive for gold. So all you gold peeps out there, I'm sure you're happy to finally make like 0.25%. Anyway, daily chart. We were heading towards the daily chart a glorious MACD cross to the positive side, but that has not played out today so far. In fact, it looked like it was certain, but it ain't happened. And to the moving average, we're looking towards a nice, beautiful cross above that on the daily chart. So far, not happened. We have kind of an awful red candle. So with that said, still could turn around, but in general, we had a beautiful uptrend coming in, but now it's Friday. If we don't get some pumpage today on Bitcoin, the crypto market will probably be, technically, as a professional, I would have to define it as ass this weekend. So with that said, Bitcoin 45-minute chart. We broke below the 200 moving average. The indicators in general that I like to use, directional index and ADX, squeeze indicator, KRI, stochastic RSI, and lazy bear wave trend oscillator, all show, unfortunately, Bitcoin's hitting the weekend lame. 15-minute chart for Bitcoin looks even worse. A slight possibility of an uptrend. We shall see. Basically, if you're hedged out, I would not financial advice, but if you're hedged out, I would stay hedged out. If you're hedged in some alts you think will pump if Bitcoin dumps, amen. Just realize it might pump. Have your stops in. My favorite place to be right now this weekend, honestly, my sentiment is cash. Okay, so Ethereum, USDT, riding that 200 moving average, hopping below it, hopping above it. Indicators look crappy. Link above the 200 moving average, yes, and the 314. KRI is beginning to pop into the green. The super squeeze indicator is beginning to show a lack of dump. Could be a play. Personally, it's not in a place that I would hop in, but it is a stronger alt than many. Sol USDT, I would say a stronger alt than many, possibility of an uptrend, but I myself am not going to hop in any alts right now. I have a general rule of thumb. I'm going to hop over here to the 45-minute chart for Bitcoin. If we're in a bull market, I like Bitcoin to be above the 200 moving average and the 314 moving average with an uptrend or at least a powerful sideways. ADX above 25, directional index in the green, and that's what I like to see. Other than that, kind of good to go. That to me is a bear market signifier of you're probably not going to get stopped out of any good alt trades. If we are in a bull market. Now, if we're in a bear market, then I want to stay below the 200 moving average. Basically, everything I just said, but invert it. Okay, so, but right now, I'm really not confident too long or too short or do Nathan. So I'm just going to hang out and watch. But I'd share my findings. Sol versus USDT, a powerful alt, better than many. But like I say, I'm not trading until we either decide that we're going to go bearish for a while or we hop up into a bull market. All about, to me, the 45-minute chart and what side of the 200 moving average we are on, and to confirm that we're always about 12-24 hours on one side or the other to actually make a decision whether it's long or short season. Also, let's watch this daily chart very strongly. If we can get a daily MACD cross positive and get above the 200 moving average, and we can find support above both those transitions, we are definitely looking wonderful. That means Bitcoin got this dump out of its system, and great, especially once we confirm having been above these indicators, well, this price action and this indicator, its oscillator, for a little while, like a day or two. Doge below the moving average, weak, not a good play right now. If you're dollar cost averager of Doge, not a bad time to get in, possibly. Not financial advice, but it could go lower. Just be aware. ADA versus USDT, it's struggling to stay above the 200 moving average, but in general it is. KRI looks pretty good. Squeeze indicator shows a possibility of an uptrend. DI and directional index and ADX suck ass. And in general, a weak hand right now, but stronger than many else. If you are an ADA fanatic, if you love Cardano, not a bad dollar cost average time. ADA versus BTC. I'm mentioning this because I have a slight hedge into this. ADA versus BTC is uptrending while Bitcoin is dumping on the 45-minute chart. KRI is in the green. Directional index is heading towards the green. ADX is right in about the right spot, right here in the middle. So if a directional index turns green and ADX trends up, beautiful. We're about to pop into a Madrid ribbon indicator up right there as I was speaking in the green. So boom. ADA BTC is beginning to make some positive moves here. Like I say, I'm hedged in with a slight hedge because I think that I like being in cash. That's my favorite place to be this weekend and right now. But I'm just taking a slight hedge into ADA BTC because I think ADA BTC may pump if Bitcoin dumps. It looks like that's happening when you compare the 45-minute charts. Amen. Hail Mary. Definitely a very, very volatile, crazy trade. Never financial advice. But that's what this crazy person is doing with a slight hedge. Matic USDT, above the 200 moving average, holding pretty good. Indicators look okay. If you're a Matic fan, watch for the Madrid ribbons, which are linked to over at BitcoinDailyView.com. Watch those to hit the green and trend up. If it can get a good trend upwards while Bitcoin is dumping, or if it can trend upwards with Bitcoin, maybe a good trade. Matic's been crazy lately. Looking at Shiba Inu versus USDT, it is kind of, if you look at the 45-minute chart here, it is hanging out where it's had previous support and resistance in the chart. It definitely could dump lower. Its indicators are nothing to be all that excited about, to be honest with you right now. But anyway, Shiba Inu, which is something which has definitely made people millionaires who only invested thousands. A wonderful coin. Are we at a balance point? I tell you what, if Bitcoin's at a balance point, so is SHIB. If Bitcoin goes down lower, well, SHIB will also. So anyway, blessed be the peacekeepers, for they shall be known as the children of God, y'all. And I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution this weekend. What an indecisive weekend. I really can't figure if I want a long or short Bitcoin. So I'm just going to hedge a little bit out to cash, which I've already done. If you're riding the dip, well, let's see what happens. One thing I would say is trust your intuition. Relax a little bit. One thing I don't like about TradingView ideas, and I don't like about many YouTubers is when Bitcoin's weak, they're always posting this bullshit about is it the end, and when it's pumping, they're like, is it going to 1,000,000? Remember, a kite rises against the wind, and adversity makes us stronger. If you're in and you wish you'd hedged out, just chill for the weekend. And if you hedged out, great, but be watchful, because we could definitely see, especially with the Max Payne futures prediction, which I mentioned yesterday on the show, we could see a serious pump today still. So, with that said, be well. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. I'm glad you're here. And remember, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes an evil piece of shit globalist cry. Take care.